For many of us, as the COVID pandemic continues, attention narrows. We're hungry for news of potential treatments, eager for normalcy, worried about the toll this is taking on our practical realities. The larger picture recedes, the forests hidden by our hyperfocus on the trees. Yet because this pandemic is unlike any we have ever experienced, encompassing the larger picture may require more than just zooming out. Einstein is often quoted as saying that the world will not evolve past its current state of crisis by using the same thinking that created the situation. So we may not be able to see what is actually happening through our accustomed ways of seeing. So how can we elevate our vision? Maybe by playing with imaginative hypotheses in search of fresh perspectives. For example, one of the unique aspects of this pandemic is that it has relocated human activity from the physical plane to the virtual world we call the internet. Work, school, even birthday parties are now routinely held online. What if this is not just a lucky convergence of technology and lockdown? Might there be a deeper implication here? We can easily become blasé about the superpowers technology grants us, flying across the continent as casually as we walk across town. But is it not a sort of magic that we can have heartfelt, inspiring gatherings with friends living in different countries without anyone leaving their home? And is it not hilariously improbable that these experiences are triggered simply by lightly pressing a finger on a mouse or gently touching a screen, gestures almost as slight as blinking? This might prompt us to explore this marvel metaphorically and metaphysically. In one of these online conversations, a wise friend invited us to imagine mycelium as a metaphor for the internet. As you may know, mycelium are fine, branching, thread-like fungal strands which can be found in soil. Typically, they spread underground, connecting the roots of the various plants in their ecosystems. Some of these networks can grow for miles, distributing nutrients and functioning, in a sense, like a communication system. Many scientists now believe that their role is so vital to ecological balance and sustainability that they actually constitute a sort of superorganism, a larger entity made of all the trees, plants, and fungi connected through what we might call the nervous system provided by mycelium. If we agree with Einstein that a new level of consciousness is needed, could it be that the internet is the mycelium of that new consciousness? It is certainly providing nutrient exchanges at a level we have never before known. Think of how the information, the ideas, the encouragement we exchange and share in cyberspace nourish us, giving us hope, helping us see beyond our little worlds, and inspiring meaningful actions. This hypothesis is bolstered when we consider that our approach to the current crisis is largely rooted in Newtonian materiality, and that to find viable solutions, we must get beyond our attachment to the material plane. Cyberspace may be that transcendent plane because it is as non-physical as it is physical. Electrons, after all, live in a liminal space between being things, particles, and non-things, waves. This brings us to the metaphysics of the internet. Technology can be seen as mechanical amplifications of pre-existing human potentials. So we could say that cars amplify human motility, telephones extend the range of our voices, a crane is a very powerful arm and hand, computers augment the brain's ability to calculate, movies wouldn't exist were it not for the imagination and dreams, and so on. So what is the underlying reality reflected by internet technology? Another wise friend in that conversation suggested that being online is the first tangible confirmation we have of the ancient lore that all life is one, that we are all intrinsically and inextricably connected. It is no longer just an idea for many of us as we zoom through cyberspace, connecting with friends and strangers in places and at levels that are physically incomprehensible. To fully grasp the forest of the COVID pandemic, beyond our habitual constructs and modes of perception, we might expand this hypothesis. What if the next human migration will not be to Mars? What if we have already begun to colonize a new level of consciousness? A meta-world which is made both of matter and mind, an imaginal plane of awareness which becomes available to our senses through the physical substrate of devices and screens, but whose existence is born of the human consciousness that invests it with reality. Does this sound familiar? Is this not what Sufism, Zen, Advaita, and the rest have been inviting us to see? How contingent what we call reality is on the minds which produce it. And might not this technology enable us to actualize that vision in a way never before possible?